Hello, everyone. I'm Andy Doan, and today I'm going to be speaking to you about technology in the classroom. So I'm the Deputy Head Year 6 teacher over at Macefield Primary School, English and Computing subject lead, actually NQT mentor, and a few other things that I've done as well during my career. But hopefully you'll find today's presentation useful and take some ideas you can go away and use in the classroom. With all of this, I always invite students, NQTs, teachers into the classroom to see it in action. So if you do want any more information after this presentation, just drop me an email and then I can invite you in. There is my email. You can pause this video at any time as well if you want any more information about any of the slides that we talk about. So why is computing so important? Well, a lot of the jobs our pupils would teach today, these jobs aren't even created yet, and they're going to be entering into a digital world in the next 10, 15 years, and it's really important to get them ready for that. It's a great way to bring a purpose to children's learning, make it really relevant, really engaging, and you get some of the best outcomes by using computing, using IT, using technology to really enhance your teaching. I've been doing it for a number of years now, and we've had some amazing results over at Macefield, and I do put it down to a lot of the things we do with computing and IT, and also for myself as a teacher, making life more efficient for me, making us work smarter and not working hard is really, really important. So in Bolton, we're very, very lucky that we do have Deb Lyons in the SICT team, and they are the key experts on computing. They've developed a long-term overview and long-term plan for all schools in Bolton that's really, really clear. They also do teach your year group sessions, and I'd recommend you going on one of those if you do want more information. But as you can see by the overview in a moment that we're going to briefly touch on, it's really, really clear, and there's also lots of information and lots of help of where to go if you are struggling with a certain unit. So it's broken down into 4 clear areas, the computing long-term overview. We've got digital citizenship, which encompasses all of that e-safety element. We have some really good resources. The Education for a Connected World, which Ofsted and the DfE recommend, is one that we use within Bolton. And I'd recommend you to look at that if you do want more information on teaching e-safety and digital citizenship for those Key Stage 2 teachers. The Internet Legends is a really nice one as a element at the end where the children can log on to an app and go through a digital world, through different challenges, and they really enjoy that. But there's also a lot of literature and a lot of reading around this, and I'm going to share some of those books for you very soon that I'd recommend you get your computing need to buy for your school as they really bring these concepts to life, and for the younger children, help them really understand. We have digital literacy, which a lot of what I'm going to speak about today encompasses this. It's where children can help bring their learning to life. And a lot of these programs they will use as they get older, the likes of spreadsheets, PowerPoints, etc. So that's a really important unit, which is usually done in the autumn too. And then we've also got computer science, which encompasses the whole of the spring term. Now, this is my favourite, where the children get to design their own games, use coding, and really understand a deeper understanding of problem solving and resilience with that computer science. We're lucky here at Macefield, and part of our academy as well, that we do have Spheros, we have Lego We Do sets, and the Beatbots, so we can actually bring that computer science to life. And you can rent these off Bolton LA as well. Again, just pop me an email if you want to pop over and see them in action or want to have a go using them. And then the final part is information technology. This is how we use technology, and there's a bit more knowledge based with this in the summer 1 term. So really important in the new inspection framework is children knowing more with that knowledge, learning more, knowing more, and building up that knowledge year on year. I'm sure in this first year we've heard about these progression statements and intent, implementation, impact, because this is what we want for our children. We want them to build up that knowledge as they take on their journey through school, and we want that curriculum to be really rich in that knowledge, so they are learning more and building on each year group. Bolton have included that in their progressions of work, and they've linked that with vocabulary as well. In the blue, you'll see those are key pieces of vocabulary that children touch on every year, and then in the green, a new piece of vocabulary comes each year. So in year 1, they start with algorithm, and they go to program, sequence, all the way to year 6 with variable. And Bolton have also put some example pieces of computer science that you can use to teach those different pieces of vocabulary. It's so important. In a lot of our schools in Bolton, there is a vocabulary deficit, that we are teaching and building on this vocabulary, not just sticking it on a wall, but actually using it and modelling it and showing how it's effectively used within their learning. I've kind of already come on to that, so if you want to pause it and have a look, you can do. But just give some examples of how you can use that vocabulary before the lesson, in the lesson, at the end of the lesson as well. And again, this builds on even more of what we've spoken about, not just sticking it on the wall, but making sure it's understood, making sure it's used, and that progression of learning happens in computing. So these are some great books. Charles Stink's Chicken Clicking are regular ones in our school, and the children ask for these quite a lot. You can see there's a huge range on that picture of different books. I'd recommend getting on your Amazon account or speaking to your computing leader and getting them ordered for your school. It brings some of these quite difficult concepts for the younger children, linked to that digital citizenship, and put them in a nice, easy, understandable way, not just for children, but also for parents as well. And again, I spoke about Education for a Connected World and Be Internet Legends are 2 great resources for teaching that digital citizenship, easy doors, early doors even. And they're broken up into 8 different areas. So another way of improving your CPD and your knowledge of online safety and digital citizenship is to sign up to the National Online Safety. Now, we are an online safety school, and we're a recognised and certified school. And what that means is we can actually give out our training to yourselves and to also our parents and carers. Now, I have put the link on here, which you'll see at the bottom. And if you type in that link, you'll actually be able to create a free account. If you just on the drop-down menu say you're a teacher, and you'll actually be able to take part in the online training CPD. You do get a certificate at the end of it. It does take quite a few hours, and all of our staff have done this as distant learning. It takes around 4 hours to complete, and there's lots of different units that I would highly, highly recommend you do. Our staff really enjoyed doing this, and they learned a lot that they thought they did know about online safety and digital citizenship, but it puts it in a really interactive way with key points. So if you've got some time over summer, I'd recommend going to that link, creating yourself an account, going on to the Certified Online Safety CPD. You'll see the course on there for 2019-20, completing that. It's really good information I'd recommend you do. Okay, now onto the fun part, I'd say. So over the next few slides, I'm going to show you some different tools that we use here at Maysfield to really bring our learning to life and get our children engaged. Now, one of the first activities I would have done with you if you were here, it's a shame you're not really, is use Menti. Now, Menti is just a really quick, easy way of making sure everyone in your class is involved. I'm a real keen believer in, no one gets left behind, doesn't matter what their ability is. We're all going together. And Menti allows all pupils in the class to answer at the same time. It's really simple that they put in a room code. And you can see there it would have been 1718. I would have asked you to write an adjective or maybe a sentence to describe this picture, and within seconds all of the answers are up on the board. Really quick way of doing it. You can use it in loads of different ways. We use it with staff, with parents, but mainly in the classroom as well. Another resource that I would have shown you is LBQ, Learning by Questions. Now, some of you may have heard of this. Hopefully you have, because all schools in Bolton do have 2 accounts. And I lead the training for Bolton. So some of you may have been onto my training before the lockdown. But I will be running those again as soon as we can. Learning by Questions is a platform that allows all pupils to be engaged in the lesson. I am going to give you a quick example in a moment through a video of how it works. It's had a massive impact for many schools within Bolton. It's won lots of awards recently, and it's really taken off across the country. It has been proven to raise attainment and motivation levels for pupils as well. So I'd recommend you coming on to the training. I also deliver staff meetings as well for schools. Or if you want to come into school and actually see it in action, just pop me an email. There are 3 different training sessions we run. There's the new to LBQ. So if you've never seen it before or are very new to it, I would recommend coming on it. A lot of people come on it having used it and don't realise half the stuff it can do. We've got the LBQ advanced features. That's where we look at actually creating your own question sets, personalising your own, using data to inform future steps. We actually now have LBQ question sets for all non-core subjects. So even if children are learning about the Vikings, for instance, they can revisit that knowledge throughout the year and it never gets lost, because I think, historically we were teaching subjects to children and, a term later they've forgotten all about it. We have that cycle now using knowledge days to reinforce that previous learning, and it builds on that knowledge that children are always learning more and knowing more. I also do the English and science workshops as well, and that's where we can use the English and science resources to have a really positive impact, and a lot of subject leaders come on them and see the impact of it. Now I'm just going to play a short video. I've just done a bit of a screen record of my iPad just to show you what LBQ looks like and how quick it is to get going. I'll try and talk us through that as it happens. So on my iPad, just onto Safari, lbq.org. Now this is the home screen. You can see we've got my question sets, and then we've got my results. We've got my calendar, my favourites, and my classes. Down the left-hand side, though, we've got a quick reference search where we can put in a 5-digit quick search reference that comes from an LBQ book that if you do want one, pass me an email, I'll get you one sent across. Or you can just go on the search filter. So here you can search for year group, and then you can search for area of learning. So I've actually clicked in maths at the moment. I'm going to click on place value, year 5, and I can scroll down and click on any topic I want. Now, as soon as you click onto one of the lessons you do fancy, it'll give you a short little preview of what the questions will look like. So here, on fractions, year 5 and 6, I've selected. And as I click divide proper fractions by whole numbers, it's giving me a quick overview of what the questions look like. You'll see every question has a visual element. And on the right-hand side, you'll see that it goes through into different levels. Oh, my iPad's just frozen a moment. We'll just let the internet start working. So we've got level 1, which is always fluency work. And understanding work on level 1, and level 2 is fluency, level 3 is reasoning, then level 4 is problem solving as well. And as you scroll down, you'll see there the different levels going through. And it's really clever, this system, that as the pupils get questions correct, it automatically moves them on to the next level. If they get a question wrong, it'll give them individual feedback. It'll tell them why they've got it wrong and how they can improve next time. Now, all these questions, all these resources are ready done for you. You can see there that I can add it into a calendar. You can see I've got quite a lot of work planned. We use it for all our home learning at the moment. I can print the questions, or I can start the questions, and it's as quick as that. Now you can see usually it probably take me about an hour or so to plan a lesson with all these resources, all these visual elements. It takes me about 11 seconds to start that lesson. And you can see at the moment I can run a few different lessons at the same time. Now this is one of the lessons I did run today. This is a home learning lesson. I've had about 70 children on today, just on this one lesson, year 5 and 6 at our school, running this lesson. We have nearly all the children every day logging onto LBQ. If they do get a question wrong, you can see I can actually go into this question to model it. I can draw on the screen. I can talk about the question and model it to the children, and I can actually send it out to the children for them to answer and give personalised individual feedback. Really, really clever system. You can see I can run up to 3 question sets at the same time as well. Now, to see it in action for the best, you really need to come and to understand it even better, you really need to come and see it in action, should I say. Like I've said here, the app is free. All Bolton schools do have 2 accounts. If you did want your own personal account, you can get a 90-day trial for free. But if you want more information on this, I can't recommend it anymore. Give me an email or come over to Macefield or Red Lane. They're the two schools I'm based at. And you can come and see it in action and come and do some lessons with me. Or I can come over to your school and give you a hand as well. lbq.org, that's called Learning by Questions. Okay, next one I'm going to talk about is Seesaw. Now, Seesaw are student-driven pupil portfolios. This is an online portfolio we have for all our pupils where we evidence our non-core learning. It means that for a lot of subjects now, PSHE, etc., RE, we don't actually have books. It's all evidenced on our Seesaw accounts. But it's also for learning that we do on our apps. Instead of it just being put on the pupil drive and never seen, it has a place that subject leaders can go, pupils can go and see what happens. With Ofsted, just about a year ago now, they absolutely loved our use of this, and our children could really confidently talk about the learning they'd done and talk about how they built upon from the previous year. Our subject leaders as well could really, really easily go on evidence and see different work from different areas of learning. And as computing lead, I really enjoy it because staff obviously put their computing work on there as well. So I'm just going to come out of this slideshow and just show you Seesaw on my web browser. So if I just go to my Safari, so this is our school. So on the left, I've got all our classes. See, we've got some club, have even got one here. We've got my training and then years 1 to 6. Now, if I just click into year 6, it's a bit like Facebook in the way that it has your feed. And down here, it just has everyone's bit of work. See pupils' names there and scroll down. Now, they are alias names, these, so do not worry. As I've put a random generator in just to create a random name or swap the first and last names together as well, so they're not together the same. So as I scroll down here, you'll see different work that children have uploaded. You see this is a 5-page document I can click in and just have a read of. There we are, and go through it. Down the right-hand side, you'll see we've got a class journal. So in the Year 6 journal, there's 1,890 items that have been put in. You can see this is used all the time. Now, these are 1,890 pieces of work that are not in the books. This is on top of. And it's because it's so quick for the children and so efficient for the members of staff as well. I don't have to print out worksheets all the time. Pop it on Seesaw and it's there. Now, I can click on an individual name and just have a look, for instance, at Anna's work, and we could scroll down through Anna's work and see some research questions she's been doing. That's some work the teachers put in for Art and DT, and you can see on each post, we can also tag the area of learning is. That's some topic work she's done, some end of year 6 work that they've been creating. And what I can also do as a subject leader, if I go to my class journal, I can click this file, and as a subject leader, I can just scroll through and have a look at just the computing work. You can see we've got subjects there for every area of learning. And you can see that all the classes upload. But if I go into computing, this will show me as a subject leader all the work that Year 6 has done on computing. And I can scroll down. You can see this one was actually quite a few subjects tagged together. Now I can comment on this. Work. I can even put a vocal comment as well, or I can like it as well. And you can see that we do have some posts on here where the teacher has posed a question, put a picture, and all the children can comment on that one post as well. And that really aids discussion. Our teachers and children really like Seesaw. It's made us really efficient. It's brought that learning to life and really purposeful as well. And I'm just going to give you a few examples now of how we use Seesaw really effectively in the classroom. So usually I would pop a question on for you and let you all log in. You just log in by scanning the QR code on an A tablet, and then you can actually draw on the screen as well and explain your thinking. The next slide, I'm going to show some marking that I've done. So at the end of the lesson, we do this in our extended rights. We do a sample, so we don't do the whole class at the same time. Pupils take a picture of the work, and instead of me giving it some green ticks with a RA at the end, I read and respond, I can actually vocally talk over the piece of writing. This has a much greater impact than children pretending to read what I've put, and also saving my time for them. So you'll see that I've actually spoken through this whole piece, told them some great things that I like, and some things that they can improve on. And this is really, really simple to do on Seesaw.
Okay, Charlotte, let's have a look at your writing from the other day. Again, great start, good use of adjectives, lovely short sentence for effect, and then we're going to cautiously a step forward, but a step backwards straight away. Apprehension and bewilderment, great adjectives, engulfed me. I love that personification. What was he going to do with me? Why did he want me to come with him? Questioning the reader, I quickly glanced at his face, and he had expanded noun phrases, a sweet, friendly face. Definitely not what I was expecting at all. This is brilliant. Charlotte, conquering my fear, I stepped out, and a salty tear dropped down his face. Was I missing something again? Superb. He walked down a village. Walked me down a village. We need down towards the village. Whilst, my favourite conjunction. Strange, peculiar.
So you can see there that as the teacher, I can mark all the work, get for green areas that I really like, give a tick, but also for areas that didn't quite make sense or she could improve, I can put it in red. And for the child, when she's listening to that the day after, it's like there's 30 teachers in the classroom and I'm giving individual feedback to every single one of them. And that has a massive impact on writing. I would argue there's no better way unless you have a TA for every child, which sadly we don't all have. So that's one way we can do it. Assessing writing really quick. The child takes the picture of the piece of writing, uploads it to their account. From home, I can just sit on my laptop here on my iPad and I can mark it from home, press a button and it saves a copy for them. So it's ready for Monday morning as soon as they get in to go and do some editing and improving. So another way, we do some of our reading comprehensions through this. So sadly, speaking and listening sometimes is the poor cousin I call to reading. Without speaking and listening, children will really struggle to read and write, and sometimes it's forgotten about. We do lots of reading, we do lots of writing, but we forget about the most important part, speaking and listening. All I've done here is, this was part of a read, write, perform unit we were doing. I put the text up. I think it's from Braveheart, this text actually, and then some different questions on each slide. The children had done this in pairs, and again, they'd annotated their writing as well, which is a really important skill of reading, and they had to articulate their thinking, giving reasons for and against.
At my signal, unleash hell. 3 weeks from now, I will be harvesting my crops. Imagine where you will be, and it will be so. Hold the line, stay with me.
If you find yourself alone riding in green fields with the sun on your face, do not be troubled, for you're an Elysium and you're already dead. Brothers, what we do in life echoes in eternity. Okay, how do we know this character is important? What is his job?
Remember to underline it. This character is important because he says to the Roman soldiers, at my signal, and hold the line, and stay with me.
I absolutely love that. Then you can see the children reminding themselves, remember, we need to annotate it. That's what we need to do. And we talk about at school the 8 Ps, which is what we use in our speaking and listening: punctuation, pronunciation, power, pitch, lots of different ones. And you can see the children were using them when they were reading that little bit of text. And there's quite a few different slides as well to this. You can see the questions change. Yeah, the questions change as we scroll through that video on there. But really, really good tool. Really simple, but so much more effective than just sit in silence, do the questions, do this reading comprehension, brings it alive, and they get so much more from it. Another way is reasoning in maths. Oh, sorry about this. We were doing so well, weren't we? Sorry, I just restart that back up. Okay, another way was reasoning in maths. Don't we love technology? So this again is where the children actually just use Seesaw and just press record on it. It doesn't always have to be a video. Explain your thinking.
Our number is 250.
So let's start with finding 10%. So you have to find 10%, you have to divide the number by 10, which is moving it 1 point to the right.
10% of 250 is 25.
So you see the children are talking through their thinking. And again, another way that we use it is just for independent reading, where children can actually record themselves, and it's good evidence for reading. I always think it's quite hard to evidence reading, and sometimes we do get asked for it. This is a really simple and effective way of doing it.
Look, I'm only here in this for the pizza. The publisher was like, oh, you did such a great job writing about the Greek gods last year. We want you to write another book about the ancient Greek heroes. It'll be so cool. And I was like, guys, I'm dyslexic. It's hard enough for me to read books. And then they promised me a year's supply of free pepperoni pizza.
Another way we use it is to celebrate learning. Children like this. You will have seen one of the files that says TT Rockstars top scores, and the children screen record on their tablets when they've hit the top score and just have a bit of a running total throughout the year. It's a really quick way of me seeing children doing that basic skills work when I ask them, and not just sitting there doing nothing. This girl's incredible. She can do over 140 in a minute on TT Rockstars. I won't play it all, but I'll show you how quick she goes. Even my fingers can't move this fast. Yeah, it's pretty incredible. This is on a tablet as well. Yeah, it's well over 140 by the end of this. Which is crazy. And then another way is just uploading. This is some work we did on persuasive writing. Children actually created this in iMovie, but instead of it just sitting on the iPad and no one ever seen it, we uploaded it to Seesaw. Then we actually tweeted it out because all Seesaw links, you can get an embed code and a QR code. And M&S actually commented on it for the child.
This is not just any ordinary trout. This is freshly caught, salted, traditionally smoked, melts in your mouth trout, accompanied with a creamy automatic dill sauce.
This is not just any ordinary porridge. It is made from freshly grown and ground oats and drizzled.
And they were some very reluctant boys, shall I say, that absolutely loved it. And they loved it even more than they knew that we're going to tweet it out. The parents were going to see it at home. And it had a purpose for writing. This is another example where we've actually used a music video and children did a whole unit of writing and then they recorded over their work. And again, they really enjoyed it because we tweeted out, a famous person that they like. We tweeted out the artist and also the parents got to see it as well. It had a purpose for the writing.
Almost exploding with excitement, I rose out of bed and sprang out the covers to get dressed. Like a lightning bolt, I dashed down the stairs. Nothing could stop me now. Overjoyed, excited, mesmerized, all I could think about was getting to my friend. As I rushed into the garden, my heart sank like a lead balloon. It felt like all the happiness had been drained from me. What will I do? I desperately looked around for it. It had gone.
And if you listen to the language there, it really is incredible. We're talking about 10 and 11-year-old children here, year sixes, so articulate because they've got a purpose. They know that at the end of this, they're going to be able to bring it to life, so that they want to do well on it and want to succeed. Great video that as well. It's called Chris Malinchak, So Good to Me, but it's really good for show not tell. We saw there that there is an animal and a rope that's missing. The children do a lot of inference work around that to infer what type of animal it is. And we have, dog, the most common one. And at the end, you'll see that it's a giraffe pet that is missing. So it's a nice one to use in your writing. And this is something we do with play scripts near Christmas. This is a John Lewis advert. And again, John Lewis always tweets us back with some lovely stuff. The first year as well, they sent us some stuff, which was really nice. But again, we just bring learning to life. They do this in groups and really enjoy it over that Christmas period.
There was once an animal who had never seen Christmas. Strolling in a breezy forest, an unusual friendship between a bear and a hare walked slowly on the green blades of grass. Your back is so soft. Wait, what are you doing? Look, there's a snowflake. What's that? You don't know what a snowflake is? It's cold on my nose. Of course it is.
I mean, the expression there is superb. But yeah, Seesaw, we really like it at Macefield. It's something that we're really developing for our teachers and for our pupils to just be more efficient and make learning more purposeful. If you want to see more, as always, come and have a look. So a few more apps now. I'm going to go through. I've got a few little videos of each one, as I can't show you. Usually I'd get you to have a go as well, which is nice. But the first one is Chatterpix. This is a nice one for early years and Key Stage 1. Really simple that you pop a picture up of a face and you can actually bring that face to life. But it goes back to that speaking and listening. It brings that learning to life and it gives a purpose for the children. It's not going straight to writing. It's actually letting them do the drama, do the speaking, do the expression, and record over in a really simple way that then can be uploaded to, Seesaw, for example, put on Twitter, and everyone can see it as well. So just got a quick video of how to use Chatterpix.
Duck, duck, moose.
Welcome to Chatterpix.
So you can take a photo. I'll go into the gallery. This is a week or two ago before I had a haircut. So as soon as you've taken the picture, you just have to draw over the character's mouth. So it doesn't have to be a picture of you. It could be a picture of Google as well, of an animal. And then you can record you saying something. So you've got a 30-second clip for children to record something on there. You can then add backgrounds on it. You can even different items to your picture. The children really enjoy this part. But the most important part lower down is that recording part. Might need a few practices of it. And
now you can record yourself talking.
There we are. Simple as that. I think I've shown a few different examples we've used before. You see where I've actually put an animal over myself, and you can actually do it as an animal as well. There's a dog there, a cat there, and there's also where I've converted myself into a lion. So we'll move on. So another example, this really for Key Stage 1, lower Key Stage 2 is Puppet Pals. Puppet Pals is brilliant. Our children love it at school, and it's been really, really good for our SEN pupils as well. It's where children create a bit of a stage. They can have different backgrounds and different characters as well. You can actually even create yourself as a character, which I got one of our pupils to do during this video, and then they can record a story. It's so important that children are orally retelling stories before they're even expected to write anything down on a piece of paper, and this is a really good way for those children to orally retell a digital story. As I put there, to write a story, pupils need to talk through it. I know it sounds obvious, but this is a really nice, effective way of doing it. So here's a quick video to show you how to use Puppet Pals. So we're going to go in the Puppet Pals app. And we'll just press to start. So you can see there that a child has actually got me and another teacher in school created us as a character. And there's also some different characters. I've downloaded the Fairy Tale and Monster Pack. There's loads of different packs though that you can download. And you can create up to 8 actors at one point. You can then pick a backdrop, and again, you can pick your own backdrop where I've got one of a penguin there, or you can take a photo, or you can use some of the backdrops that are already there. Really, really quick and simple. And as soon as you've done that, you're then into your storytelling mode. So you can see at the top there, you can pull the curtain threads down to change the background. You can move, pinch your characters, and then there's just a record button at the top. And as soon as you press that record button, it'll just start recording your story. And children obviously will need a bit of rehearsing with this until they're ready for this, but then it does bring their story to life. So you can see at this point I am recording. Now on the iPad it would be recording what I'm saying, but it doesn't record sound at this point. So we can just talk through that actually, moving the characters around. I'm not sure what's happening in the story, but it sounds like Dragon and myself. The dragon is after myself. But I've got the squirrel to help me and protect me. And hopefully we change backgrounds. There we are. We change backdrops as well. Now once you're done, again, it's just the pause button at the top. And then you can replay this story and then upload it to Seesaw, put it online. You can print a QR code for your book if you want. It really gives a purpose. And there we are.
That was once a teacher named Mr. Doe decided to go and look for a penguin with his best friend, Rabbit.
There we are. So you can see that I've just saved it as well. I think it's a squirrel though. It's an early morning. So that's Puppet Pals. And another one is Adobe Spark. Now, Adobe Spark, I've not actually got a step-by-step guide for you, but what I have got is some boys last year. One of them had an EHCP, other one was an SEN boy, really reluctant to write. Adobe Spark really changed their outlook on writing. They use this for pretty much every writing unit we did, and they did this before they did the writing most of the time, or did it halfway through their process. It brought the learning to life, and they actually had a love for writing and did really well in their writing because of this. This is an imagined sentence, one of the Alan Peat sentences that I would have done with you if we did the training, and it's a sentence that children used as well. So for each part of the sentence, they break up each clause, and they can put a video with it. It's really simple. They just record over it, but then they get to put it on Seesaw, get to show the parents, their friends, family, and have a real purpose for that writing as well. I'll quickly show you their example.
Imagine a world filled with negativity, a place where death is imminent, a place where bullets scatter the floor. This is World War II. Desperately, residents screamed for their lives. Death was upon them.
I mean, you can see that was around our World War II topic, but the sentence construction there and, the use of, adjectives and adverbials is incredible for those pupils. They were working quite a few years behind the Year 6 standard, but their writing really caught up because of this, because they wanted to do it. And, you get children into that frame of mind, then they'll do really well. So yeah, Adobe Spark, again, you can get teacher accounts for this as well. So you can have quite a lot of logins at one point, and it doesn't cost anything either. Really powerful but simple tool to use for, your upper key stage 2, I'd say, SEN pupils as well. Really, really like this. And another one is the green screen. Again, this is more of an end of unit activity. Again, it encompasses a lot of that digital literacy skills. There's a lot of steps to doing this. I'm not able to go through every step because I'll be here quite a while. If we're on the training, I would show you how to do it live, but I'm just going to show you an end result of the pupils example. 2 apps that I use with this as well. There's the Doink Green Screen, which I'd recommend downloading that one and using that one. But also the I Can Present app is really nice, that as the children are reading their work, it's a bit like a newsreader where it scrolls through their work. So they can do 2 iPads there. They use the I Can Present app and the Doink Green Screen app. I was going to do it for you, and this was the little speech I was going to do live, but I've got one of my Year 6 pupils to do it instead. This was the progress of one of my Year 6 pupils. I think this was in about 4 weeks as well, progress last year. And I've actually got on the right the recording. This was a very shy girl. Mum actually worked in school, had no confidence whatsoever at the beginning of the year, believed she couldn't do much. Mum really worried about her. Watch this performance. This is, why we love the job we do. And these are the outcomes we really want. And I still remember her very well. And her mum still talks about this example that went viral everywhere. Have a watch.
Macefield, I stand before you fine people to persuade you to join me in battle against the treacherous tyrant that is terrorising our village. No more shall we hang our heads in fear or cower like dogs. Now is our opportunity to slay the ferocious beast that is destroying the miniature land we call home. For many years we have been avoiding the future because of the existence of our nemesis. Day after day, week after week, we have been dreading every hour of every minute of every day, all because of our enemy. I cannot promise that you will see another rising of another sun, but I promise, if we win this brutal battle, then this small village will become a greater nation.
And as you can imagine, this girl did get great depth at the end of the year. This was quite early on in the year, but she's actually gone to our green screen area. She's done this all on her own, so there's no one else around. She's put the, we have like a desk at one end. She's put the iPad on there. You can see she's put a piece of writing behind it where she's reading from. And we did not expect this because she was on her own and she had no one around her. It just brought her learning to life. And the impact on this girl was phenomenal. And that's what it can do. Using technology, it can have a greater impact than we can ever imagine on there. So yeah, I would let you have a go, but we will stop there for this session. I think I've spoken enough and hopefully given you some ideas that you can go away and take to your classroom. If you do have any questions, give me a tweet, pop me an email, or you can come into school whenever we are allowed. But well done on your NQT year. If you do want to do more training, there is that link to the National Online Safety, which I would say is really, really useful. All our staff have done it and given some great reviews. Have a great summer, have a great rest, and well done for completing your NQT year, all.